You've been there, right? You're staring at a huge stack of resumes, the pressure's on, and you have to find that perfect person for the job. But what if the perfect person isn't actually the one with the most polished resume? Today, we're going to dig into how you can screen and select candidates who are more than just qualified on paper. They're truly the right fit for your team. All right, let's get into it. This right here, this really gets to the heart of the problem, doesn't it? It's a paradox pretty much every hiring manager has faced. You find a CV that just seems to tick every single box, but then, a few months down the line, you realize it's just not working out. So in this explainer, we're going to unpack the hidden factors that really determine a new hire's success and give you a whole new way of thinking about how to make that final choice. So let's kick things off by talking about this really common pitfall, what I like to call the perfect CV trap. It is so easy to get wowed by all the impressive credentials, but, relying on them too much can seriously lead you down the wrong path. I want you to really think about this for a second. Have you ever hired someone who looked like an absolute superstar on paper, only to find out they kind of disrupted the whole team? It happens all the time. You hire the so-called rock star who, it turns out, is more of a solo act, or the team player who just can't seem to get on the same page as anyone else. See, a resume is just a story about the past. It doesn't always predict future success, especially not in your unique environment. This slide just lays out that disconnect perfectly. On paper, the candidates got it all. The flawless qualifications, the perfect experience, all those big accomplishments. But the colleague in reality, the person you actually have to work with day in and day out, might have a work ethic that completely clashes with the team. Maybe they struggle with collaboration, or even worse, they end up draining morale. So here's the bottom line. A resume tells you what they've done, but it tells you almost nothing about how they did it or even why they did it. Okay, so if we can't just trust the CV, then what's the alternative? Well, this brings us to a really crucial shift in how we think about this. We need to move away from just looking for qualifications and start searching for genuine alignment. And this quote just nails it. This is the central idea for everything we're talking about. Look, qualifications, they're the ticket to the interview. They get a person in the door, but alignment, that is what creates a successful long-term partnership. It really is the secret ingredient to a fantastic hire. Think of it like this. A truly great hire is built on two super strong pillars. Of course, you absolutely need the skills and experience to do the job. That's non-negotiable. But that second pillar, cultural and values alignment, is every bit as critical. Cultural alignment is all about how they're going to work within your team, while values alignment is about whether what drives them personally connects with your company's core mission. It's the difference between someone who can do the job and someone who will absolutely thrive while doing it. So let's be really clear about what we mean by cultural alignment. This isn't about hiring a bunch of people who all think and act the same. That's how you get groupthink. No, it's about matching their core behaviors to your company's unique way of working. So, for example, instead of asking a generic question like, "Are you a team player?" try something like this. "Tell me about a time you disagreed with a teammate's approach. How did you handle that?" Their answer is going to reveal so much more about their actual conflict resolution style than what they just think you want to hear. Okay, theory is all well and good, but how do we actually put this stuff into practice? Let's get into some real actionable techniques you can start using right away to screen for this alignment without wasting a ton of time. Here is a simple but incredibly powerful three-step process. First, before you even glance at a single resume, you need to decide on your 3 to 5 absolute non-negotiables. This instantly filters your candidate pool and stops you from getting distracted by, shiny objects on a CV. Second, the 15-minute phone screen. The whole point of this is just to get a quick feel for their communication style and what really drives them. Ask them, what was it about this role specifically that caught your eye? And then just listen. Really listen. And third, and this is my favorite, the practical test. This is key. Give them a small task that mirrors the actual work. For a developer, a quick coding challenge. For a marketer, ask them to whip up a headline for a blog post. For a salesperson, a 5-minute mock call. It is without a doubt the single best way to see their skills and their thought process in action. All right, so you've screened your candidates effectively. You've used skills, a phone call, a practical test. Now you have your shortlist. It's time to make that final, confident choice. I love this visual because it just breaks it down so clearly. This is the modern anatomy of a great hire. Now look at that. Skills and experience are obviously the biggest pieces of the pie, but values and alignment, that's a massive 30%.
If you're only hiring based on the first two, you're not just ignoring a third of what makes someone successful, you're basically risking a bad hire that could cost you so much time, money, and team morale down the road.
So, what's the end game here? What's the result of taking this more thoughtful approach? Well, it's not just about filling an open role. It's about the incredible payoff that comes from having a fundamentally better process. And right here, this is the key takeaway. It really does require a mental shift. You have to stop thinking about hiring as just filling an empty seat. Your goal is to find a genuine, long-term asset, someone who will elevate your entire team for years to come. Now that is a real game changer. So I'll leave you with this one question to think about. I want you to take a really honest look at your current hiring process. Is it just structured to confirm qualifications on a piece of paper? Or is it truly designed to uncover real, genuine alignment? Answering that question honestly is the very first step toward building a stronger, more cohesive, and way more effective team. And that's a goal worth fighting for. Thanks for tuning in. I really hope this helps you find your next great hire.